All right. Hey, and welcome and happy National GM's Day. Very fun. You're a game master. Hope you enjoy that and you get to play today. We are in our Monday campaign, having tons of fun. And currently, uh, our heroes have gone into Hadafai, the city of the dead, a bustling necropolis where living citizens and thinking individuals live alongside the dead and recently and not so recently deceased. And it is all just a way of life. They've begun to understand the culture itself doesn't really recognize the dead as being fully past, but in a very real sense there, as well as there being various necromantic rituals and learnings that seem to be here as well, including more sophisticated ways to get information from the dead as they learned talking to Silvertongue Sal, which was merely a corpse that had very many enchantments done upon them to help them have more robust conversations. And it is here that our crew found refuge in a place that called Death's Kiss, designed so that people may have conversations or talk with the dead, and even do certain ceremonies where they would sleep next to the bed in the rooms above. They found rooms, and due to the nature of this, realized that they are protected from scrying and all their divination magics. So they had themselves more private talk. Though they did realize that when you talk to one of the dead, they do record your conversations. But with some good use of memory magic, this was taken care of. And now, to determine how and when to set upon the town, we join everybody in the room. Sal, the dead corpse in his chair with his plate run clear. What would you like to do?
Okay, so we just need a plan, I think. We need to do some recon. But we need a plan.
Yeah.
Plan recon or plan after the recon?
I think both. I'm a little freaked out by what happened when we got here. Not here. I mean, a little bit about here, but more about when we got to this town.
Which part? About the bomb or about the dead?
We took 3 steps into town, immediately caused destruction, got everybody chasing us, apparently got representatives of Bane chasing after us. I'm a little worried that just doing things without a plan is going to get us killed. And so I'd like us to take a minute and maybe make a plan and see if that gets us a better result.
Well, yeah, you are the leader, so.
You see him like blush heavily.
Speaking of which, just so you guys know, my contract's going to expire in about 5 hours.
Really?
And is that like Galadriel's contract where you'll now kill us? Is that the way that works?
Yeah,
Balin, this is news
I'm
to
just
me.
fucking with you.
Okay.
Were you hired on contract too?
When I used to hang out with Palin, like we were all friends and we just did friend stuff and we fought bad guys. And now this thing with Galadriel is new to me and I'm a little worried. Is everyone here going to kill us after their contract runs out? Is that how it works now, Palin? Is that the deal?
Galadriel was an outlier. We have deep personal bonds that join us all securely. And he looks at Aesol.
I'm
No
gonna insight.
contract, but no promises either.
All right, I would like to insight check both of them. You want 2 rolls for that or 1?
Yeah, I mean, you just get one. Yeah.
All right, here goes. Dang it. 20.
Oh, dear. No, that's not going to fly. 12. Yeah, Palin's very worried about Aesol's motivations
Okay.
remaining with the group.
And you can't tell Aesol's motivations.
Aesol's totally okay. Just Stonewall. I get nothing. Okay, got it.
Well, I'm here to be friends. I'm not getting paid. He's my brother.
That's what I like about you, Jinx. And Tara, I don't want you to kill us. So we're buddies, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, truly, Terry, it would prove insufficient challenge. I think you would be shamed by it if you were to. No, me, for example, I don't think that would win you any honor. Or
You'd be surprised how glorious that would be.
oh no! I mean, it would be hardly a challenge at all. That's not the kind of.
It would be an honor.
Oh,
Well, now it kind of sounds like you want to do it.
No, absolutely not. I mean, unless you order me to, would you drop? You are the leader.
Right. In the line of duty, it's okay in that case, but we're not there. So back to the plan.
Right.
So I'm really good at like getting certain places, like because I can walk up walls, and I'm really sneaky. So I could lower ropes to be able to get us up certain places if we need to go into the building or check out. And you said you can turn people to animals?
I can. I also can pass without trace. Will really help people who are near me. I can do that too. Let me see. I could turn somebody into. Well, let me take a look. Let me take a think. I mean, about things I could turn somebody into. Give me just a second. And if I'm not mistaken, if I do polymorph someone, they take on the intelligence of the critter I give them. Is
Yes.
that?
Yep.
Oh, that's not great. Okay,
Mental and social stats.
great. Yep. All right. So, I mean, I could make you sneak, but I mean, I think with Pass Without a Trace and Invisibility, I feel like if you stuck by me, Palin, you and I could do all right.
as you may remember from our months of traveling together, subterfuge is a yet undeveloped skill of mine. However,
Brother. I do have another idea. If you don't want to try that way, how about you cast invisibility and I hand you a broom, and you sit on the broom in the sky, invisible.
oh, and it's safely out of reach of any of our attackers. Yes, that sounds wonderful.
And you could keep a bird's eye view.
Oh, yes. Right.
Yeah. Or I could just carry you.
I would like to see that actually more.
She holds out her arms.
Palin just
Oh, I
sort of
love
like
it.
side saddle like perches on her floor.
Totally carrying you like the bride here.
Yes. All right. So, and just the point of the recon here is so that we can potentially find targets to start attacking, to do some sabotage, to make it look like the people in charge are weaker, so that we can potentially foster a rebellion.
Well, to the bracelets, I've been wondering, and they seem connected, but like there has to be some bigger connection to controlling them. wondering if that is at the military base, and if we could somehow find a way in there eventually and take it out, it might be able to cause at least enough rioting with them not knowing how to control the dead, where we could maybe make a couple more assaults.
Yes, or perhaps we could seize control over whatever central magic is animating them, and we could wield the dead ourselves.
At least we could find out who's in charge there. If it's the Lich himself that they said was the second to Hidar, or if they have some other general leading the military.
Yes.
Okay.
But I support the notion that this next bit is exploratory in nature, and we don't commit ourselves to violence unless there's no alternative.
Because I just want to reiterate, we're going to where all the tough guys are. And so if we make some mistakes here, it could get bad quick. We're not like, going into like the business guild to sneak around. Like, this is where the tough guys are.
Well, they're not
Yeah.
tough.
I think they're talking about you and me picking a fight.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm hearing. So you want
You probably
us to
shouldn't
fight
pick a
them?
fight.
They're tough. We're tough, all right.
I mean, yeah, but there's a whole town of them, and there's, a few of us.
Are you trying to tempt me? Because it's
It's working, isn't it? I'm just saying, on this trip, we should try not to fight.
okay. I feel like I'm getting mixed signals, but okay.
All right. Shall we give this a shot?
Yeah.
All right.
So, where are we headed to?
Military
Yeah,
base.
Yeah.
Where all the tough guys are.
Okay, so the military bases. What information? What do we look like? Get my brain around here for.
So Jinx is trying to either find out who's actually in charge of the military here, if it's the Lich that they know about and heard about, or if it's somebody different, and also if this is somewhere where the main control of the undead is coming from in the bracelets, because she thinks there has to be a bigger power source than just both bracelets connecting each other, that there must be something else amplifying that for the whole town. And she figured that would probably be their best because that would be the most protected place.
Yes. Makes sense. All right. So we're going to go sneak through the streets there. Any other things like seeming or stuff? Or are you going out as non-goblinoids?
I will disguise myself using whatever my feat is that I can do here, and I've forgotten it. I think it's just disguise self.
I have a disguise kit.
Who are we putting makeup on and making look like things, Sarah?
I mean, I could just put some green makeup on me and make me look sort of like a goblin.
I'll add a little more fur in my face and make myself look like a bugbear.
Asa, what about you?
And put on some disguise. What's the goblin kind that's tall? Yeah, that one.
Brother, are you going to turn invisible, or are you going to...
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll use the staff, so it's actually a 2-hour.
I will hand you the broom if you don't want to be carried.
I think it's hysterical if Palin gets carried.
Am I correct in thinking I have some kind of hoverboard? Did somebody hand me a hoverboard when we first arrived?
And
You have an earth board.
It's a you have to bind yourself to it though.
Oh, okay.
Attune to it, I mean.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna skip it then. I'll find another way to get. But I will disguise self. I am
Would you
also
like to borrow the
hobgoblin.
broom? Since my brother's fine with being
yeah.
carried, you don't have to
Yeah.
attune to it.
Put it in my pack, so I've got it here. So I've got options. Thank you,
Just say Keegan.
Keegan. Oh shit! No, not yet. How do you turn it off?
Were you using magic to make us hard to see?
Yeah, I can do pass without trace, but you have to be close to me. So once we split up,
I'm
we
pretty
split
good.
up.
Yeah, on my own. So
All right. Well, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay, then give me your group stealth check, please.
I will pass without trace as soon as we leave the room, so you can add 10 as long as you're 30 feet.
Okay. Since I'm
25.
carrying Palin, what kind of roll is that?
I'll just give you a regular stealth check.
Okay.
16.
Oh,
Oh, God,
nice.
look at these
Nat
rolls.
20 for a
Yes.
40.
A 40! Holy shit. I don't think I've
Whoa.
ever seen a stealth roll that was a 40.
Palin, you have never been so stealthy.
Where's Tara?
Yeah, what the?
I guess they ran off together.
I worry for Palin now. He might not come back. All right, well,
Oh
that'll
my
offset my
God.
16 a little, I guess.
I don't. Oh, I need something to offset my 4. Oh no.
Well, you've got
14.
pass without a trace as well. Yeah.
Ooh,
So.
wow. Wow.
Okay. Pretty good then. So, walking through the streets now has been some hours, and you see that people, first off, in Death's Kiss, there's more that have come and begun to sit and talk with various dead corpses in the room. And making your way towards the military quarter of the city, you see the population goes steep to hobgoblin in and around. Kind of on the outskirts, there is a place where other goblinoid races are seeming like being, some are undergoing training, you see, some are actively doing projects, and just within there is a special place. You see a mixture of tieflings and elves and humans and dwarves, halflings, all with thick collars, some paired with what you see in this like life link between a living and a dead, making almost two mindless creatures. Others that seem just to have heavy metal around them to keep them subjugated. They don't seem to have the magic that is happening, but they are being trained in what looks like a type of martial art, especially the ones where dead and living are linked. There's techniques that seem to take advantage of this nearly almost drunken style. They fall and they move, and you see some practicing ways to hide a knife just in the right way, or to conceal and pull a knife out of the truly dead partner. Almost assassination techniques. sometimes gets the feeling. Pushing on, you see a Sima population even learning a type of magic that disguises both. And this very strong, for those of you who are arcanely sensitive, strong necromancy seems to be being practiced or learned here as well. In one of the yards, you see in front of an instructor 3 pairs of these living and dead couples, where the one kind of concentrates and it looks like they switch between the one that's ultimately in control, or the consciousness more readily seems to move, talking out of the mouth of either one, and even projecting that into a type of spirit as advanced trainings. And now what you're assuming, you're looking for some type of kind of heart of all the necromancy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Then someone give me investigation and someone give me arcana.
Nami.
I can do the investigation since this has something I'm guessing I could. Would I be able to use my Hunter's Bane information since it involves undead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone want to do the Arcana besides me?
I'm not proficient.
I got a 28 on the investigation.
23 on Arcana.
In that case, delve further. You see the lines here seeming to go into a what appears to be a 10 by 10 field office. And you see a good amount of people that will file in, like 20 or so. Then as you walk around, another like 30 will file out. It's way too many for the size of the room. On either side of the room, you see 2 hobgoblin guards. They are in armor that is black, and in the making of it, there are eyes that have been worked in, like molded, and then painted white with red pupils.
Do I recognize that symbol?
Religion check.
That was a 10.
No.
Purdy.
I do think that's one of those extra dimensional spaces, though. What do you think, brother?
Yes, it seems likely, and I would also assume that they have more enhanced means of detecting intruders.
Do you think that's what those eyes on their armor is?
I have seen similar enchantment on various robes, and that is typically their function.
So,
I mean, to create a distraction, perhaps? To lure them away? Well, perhaps we can deceive them into allowing us passage.
I mean, a distraction I think could work. Probably not right now at best. Unless we want to keep trying to go farther in. What do you all think?
Well, I mean, I'm protecting Palin right now, but depends on what kind of distraction.
And you're doing a wonderful job. I'm very comfortable.
I just surprised Palin by speaking with my net. 40.
Well, the idea you're carrying him, but he has no idea where you are. Vanished into time and space.
What can you do, Dewdrop?
For a distraction?
Yeah.
I mean, I could. If I can hide somewhere, I could probably chuck a little ball of fire. Not a fireball, a little ball of fire. I want to make that clear. A little ball of fire somewhere that could get some attention.
What about you, Aesol?
I could summon a dragon.
Oh, hey, that's a distraction.
That is a distraction. I think
That's what you were looking for.
That's the distraction.
You didn't want sparklers. You wanted, yeah, okay. That sounds like a good plan.
I mean, that'll clear the whole building, you know.
It's a distraction. Oh, go
Do
ahead.
we want the distraction now, or do we want to like take a look around and make sure there's nothing important elsewhere, and then?
Yeah, let's scope the area out a little bit.
What are you looking for?
Anything interesting? Anything that stands out? Anything that might aid in our plan here? Do we notice any patterns? Any, guards rotating? People
Give me
not
a
going-
perception check.
That I'm very good at. Two shit rolls. 25.
You see, one of the big things you see is that there do seem to be lines of people who are who seem to be being passed into this room. And it's like a lot of the time, and it seems to be generally those who are linked together, led by a hobgoblin in the front. So there may be a chance to jump into one of those lines
Gotcha.
if you're so inclined. Other than that, you can tell there are, from paying attention and seeing them talk to almost nothing, you think the guards must have some type of extra sight with that armor. How much you don't know is and you watch closely, and occasionally it looks like they talk to someone who's not maybe fully there. Then as they stop, you see like the dust kick up just slightly.
Oh.
So there might be invisibles walking around.
Okay. All right, gang. I think we need to tread really carefully here. It looks like there may be some invisible folk as part of the guards here. I think this is well guarded. So whatever we do, we have to be very careful.
So why don't we just act normal? We'll just get in the line and we'll just, try to get in.
Palin, do you think that those eyes might allow those guards to see through our disguises?
very possible.
And if that's the case, a distraction's a better option. If we can get them focused somewhere else and try to sneak by, might work better than trying to sneak by with them with their attention on us.
Once we gain entry, again, if our purpose is only to collect information, do we escape after we make our way in? Or perhaps this is the point at which we reconvene. We've gathered some intelligence. We know that this is where the epicenter of the necromantic practice is happening. We know a little bit about their training regimen for these corpses that will still fill their armies.
I feel like if they have something like top notch here, it's going to be further in.
My brother was just saying, though, if we should take what we know now and go try to deliberate a better plan than just using a dragon and trying to sneak in there really quick. In case we do find out what we need, how do we get out?
Sure. Do you have you mean like finding a different entrance or like a different building, or maybe in through the sewer?
Well, it appears that this space that they are entering, that its dimensions are inconsistent with that of a mundane construction. And so if it is indeed some kind of extra or interplanar chamber, then it may be warded against our magic that would allow us to leave quickly. So once inside, we could very well find ourselves trapped.
I mean, if we want to go, we can go. If you don't think we're gonna, or if you think there's a better way in. Because my plan is just, let's just punch our way down there.
Which is admirable and may be inevitable. I don't know that we're likely to find more valuable intelligence that changes our strategy. Perhaps delaying is of no value to us then.
I mean, if our goal is to kind of foment some sort of revolution, we could start trying to gather information about the normal folks too.
Okay.
Where do they go for a drink and what do they do and how do they feel and that kind of stuff. We've only kind of seen this one small picture from the Not a Brothel. If we, if we want to try to win them over, we probably need to know something about them.
And if our goal is to incite a revolution, maybe we don't look for what's most important to them for now. If we want to send a message to the common people, we might just find a really tall building or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's really symbolic, right? It's just trying to show that it's possible.
Well, we could do that. Tomorrow morning we could, or I guess even the rest of the night, find out what the common people around here would want. What's something they desire? Is it freedom? Is it having their town back? Is it...
Well, didn't Silvertongue already tell us that? Or do we think he might not know?
I think what we determined was he knows the things that he knows are limited to the people that come into that place. And so I don't remember him necessarily having a great picture of...
He did say, though, mainly the goblins came in, not really the hobgoblins.
Oh, okay.
All right.
It was mainly the locals that would come in there and talk to them.
Okay, so let's go find another establishment and see what that place is like.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And actually, we could probably talk to them if they want to expand. That we give them the brothel place.
Yeah, we could just we could start our kind of our a franchise of our own here. Would take over all of the not a brothels and turn them into something nice.
Yeah, we'll just call it not a brothel.
Not a brothel. Yeah. Just so everyone's real clear about what it isn't.
I think it'll be very clear to people. I think they'll definitely get the message. I don't think there'll be any misunderstandings with a name like that.
You just come there to talk to dead people. It's
Yep.
fine.
Or sleep next to them,
Or
which
sleep next to them.
but
Just sleep
next to them is the really important part of that sentence. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we've gathered some intel. I think this is a successful first stop. Let's see where people go to get a drink and see if we can find anything out.
Yeah, one clarifying question, because I have in my notes that this military base is supposed to be at some sort of monument, a tomb of
Ooh.
some guy. Is that correct? Because I had that in my note, but
Where? What was we looking for? What?
so like I had in my notes that this military base was a tomb or a monument to something. That's why they train all their soldiers there. Maybe I got something
Yes.
mixed up.
Yeah, no, this is you see, yeah, so looking around, all around there is this very like you were looking at the yards here. There are several large tombs to what look like generals. And from what you can tell, your information is correct. Potentially that building might lead to that tomb.
Okay.
Interesting.
Is there anything that we've seen, Matt, that would contradict or strike Palin as like potentially sacrilegious in the context of this society has such reverence for the dead, and engage in these rituals to protect their dead from the influence of these scholars. Is there anything here that would be like scandalous or offensive to
Yeah. Well, you can tell there's a feeling of the culture around where it's mostly other goblinoids, and they do have slaves here, but most of the other goblinoids seem not to as much. Was it aren't hobgoblin? And they tend to be more living their life as much as you can tell. And theirs are more, you can tell more of like living with the dead. It is within the hobgoblin areas and in here where there is the feeling more of utilizing the dead as a resource.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just saw Dune 2, so I'm like, I want to start a holy war.
It might be a spot to poke at.
Thanks, man.
When we were talking to Sal, did we find out about other I feel like we found out about other inns or the equivalent kind of places. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, there's the thing.
Yeah, there were two others that you were they were potentially able to do.
But now that I'm thinking about it, our disguises maybe aren't ideal for that. if hobgoblins aren't the ones that normally frequent those, it's occurring to me that rolling in with Aesel and I, both disguised as hobgoblins, might not be ideal. I can't do a goblin. I can only take about a foot off my height with this spell, so it won't work to make me a goblin.
Well, we could, brother, if you could connect us mentally, what if you two went and checked out some of the hobgoblins, the other side of things? I mean, I know we're the enemy, but at least just like listening to where they hang out.
Yep.
And the ones, I guess, me and Tara and Palin, since you're invisible, we could go check out the goblin.
Aesel, do you speak goblin?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, crap.
'Cause I don't.
Tara, Palin, do either of you speak goblin?
I speak thieves' cant.
It'd actually be interesting to find out if there's a little bit of a demi-monde here that we could try to tap into. Because that might be another way for us to gather intel if there's some sort of underworld. And criminals are usually after kind of a little bit easier to work with because they're just trying to make a buck. Alternatively, we do sort of have the run of one of these places. Maybe we could try to talk to some of the people who come in, some of the goblins who come in at the one we're already in with.
Yeah, because it's almost all goblins, right? Who are frequent.
Yeah.
The desk.
Why
And
don't
at
we
least then we could have some of us hide. I mean, we have a room to work with.
I mean, I don't think there's any harm in speaking, common. If we're just going to an establishment, maybe that's what we prefer to talk.
I'm just worried because everyone I've seen who wasn't in the goblin kind of family has had a collar around their neck. Have we seen any non-goblinoids walking free?
No.
Yeah. So I wonder if we should have this conversation back in our room. I feel like we're like standing where I know there's invisible people. Suddenly dawns on me that this is a dumb idea. Maybe we should not be standing here. What's everyone think?
So we'll head back to our inn, and on our way back, we'll see where the other inns are.
Yeah.
At least so in case some of us want to go stop over there.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. So you're going back to Death's Kiss?
Yes, by way of the other joints so that we can at least see them, case them. Is it it's like the opposite side of the city to find those other joints, or are they all?
No,
the
you
same?
can get them. That's fine.
Okay. We just want to case them a little bit.
Yeah.
See what type of business they are.
Yeah.
For one, should be a very much of a fighting bar.
Oh, now we're talking.
You see, so this one is actually primarily Hobgoblin. There are some others there, but it's very much the minority. And you see grafted together dead, like fighting.
Oh. So this is like entertainment. They're
And-
like,
yeah.
oh.
And sometimes it seems, Palin, you'd recognize like almost like a duel of necromancers.
Oh.
And looking at the way it's constructed, such that it does look like it was once a large tomb that mass interred maybe thousands of people. And there has been several bars set up almost in a Colosseum set where
Ooh.
now either the dead or the living battle.
Do the living actually do any physical fighting, or are they all controlling the dead people?
It is more like the most macabre Pokemon tournament ever.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing. Okay. Oof. That's rough. I'm getting the
Matt, how
vibe these
good are
aren't
they?
good people.
These necromancers seem exceptionally skilled.
We don't kind of check.
Yeah.
17.
17?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you're away from your mic or something, but you got like you're getting quiet and a little radio-y. Here and there, started to hear. But 17, there is magic at work here you've never heard of. This is, and not surprising. Necromancy is one of those schools that generally is very, very like, you do not research necromancy. There are some necessary spells that are taught, things that generally heal or raise dead and those types of things. But a lot of the other applications of it are mostly kept to theory, and anything else, while you could look at it, there's just a lot of paperwork and a lot of like lists one gets put on. The type that they're doing here would get you kicked out of almost any institution. And it is not... It does not look self-taught. It looks very practiced. And in that, you can see there seems to be a grand overseer, a red-skinned hobgoblin woman who wears a cloak that is dark gray with what looks like almost an iron skull depicted upon it. And around her neck, you see what looks like a blackened heart, strung on a string that's likely made from like guts.
Awesome.
I'd point her out to Jinx.
I would say from that heart, there is like a pulse of great power that seems to come from it.
Do you want me to take her out, brother?
Well, eventually, but we're trying to avoid attention for now. I'm just curious what you make of her. I know that your travels have made you uniquely prepared in the slaying of mages.
Could I eye her up, Matt?
How would you do so?
Just like by looking at like seeing if she's more battled ready type of a necromancer, like if there's scars on her, or you know if she looks like she comes down here and does this for fun.
Right. I'll let you choose insight or perception.
Let's go with insight. 22
And you said that was insight?
insight. Yep.
Okay. From the way that she carries herself and orders that she seems to give, the feeling you get from this particular woman is someone who has very much worked their way up through bloodshed and bleeding themselves. A master of their art, and you can just tell that even as people approach, there is a slight almost reflex of energy and placement around arcane foci or components, like they're ready to go at any moment. and they don't trust anybody. The feeling is definitely they are battle hardened.
She would seem like she'd be a challenge, brother, but a fun one.
Well, perhaps she can be incited into violence against her peers. There's not much in the way of camaraderie, is there?
Maybe you know more about these type of magic than I. Maybe you could even speak to her about. I'm sure she's only studied these magics from this location. Hasn't been around the world and seen as much as you have.
Oh, you flatter me, Desiree. I do have a few rare tomes that she maybe find interesting. I think I
Would
still
you
have
like a meeting with her? Maybe I could set up one.
yeah, I mean, Palin's natural instinct is he's like, oh, cool, a wizard. I want to talk to them.
Right, of course.
I want all their stuff. Yeah, or maybe we engage in the local custom. Perhaps I could pass off one of you as my undead champion, and we win some notoriety for ourselves. Just a thought.
I mean, that sounds like... I think Jake's literally looks to the group and realizes there's only one of them that's kind of undead in the group. Are you talking about me, brother? Since I'm part vampire.
Oh, well, if the great misfortune that you suffered when I banished you from the material plane perfectly enabled you to serve this purpose, that would just be a wonderful coincidence, and I would be ever so grateful.
You're lucky we're blood related. Well, I obviously can't go sign us up now if I'm the undead servant. So I'll just back up here, and she kind of like removes her makeup, like turns around and goes into the alley and removes her makeup and just kind of ties up her hair into a bun and makes herself look very almost like mindless vampire slave, which she's seen for many years
Okay.
in the Shadow Realms.
So we're doing this now, huh? Okay. Okay.
Is this terribly reckless of us?
It's on brand, I'll say that. How many people are in this building right now, more or less? Like, is it sitting, 100 people, 5 people?
In this building?
That we can see, kind of.
Yeah. Currently, probably a good 600.
Okay. Yeah. That goes well. We're done. I'm just saying. We're not fighting our way out of 600 people.
Don't say that we're terrible. Hear you. Yeah, no, do we want to play Necromancer Pokemon right now, or hit the final establishment? I don't know.
It sounds very fun, but Palin, do you have your disguise on, or are you just invisible?
Oh yeah. Really good point. Thank you, Aesel. Really good point. So we can put that on the things to do in town list. and maybe check out the other joint.
You mean I put up my hair for nothing? Takes it down, shakes it. Wait, now I'm not even dressed like a bugbear.
Oh no.
This is so awkward.
We can still do it. Dewdrop, do you want to pretend to be a necromancer?
I just don't have great necromancer vibes is the thing. They have to be all dark and spooky and
What about you?
Oh my god, y'all. Yo, I'm a necromancer.
Oh, yep,
here we go.
my hair's up again.
One of them looks towards you. This hobgoblin. Their eyes glow with blue fire as they talk. Do you wish to qualify to compete?
Yeah, sure, whatever. I got a slave. That I'm
What
gonna
are
put
you
in
trying to look? What are you trying to look at like? What did you say you look like?
a goblin.
Yes, let's go.
So yeah, they go. Goblin claims they've mastered necromancy.
Wait, hold on. I didn't know that was a nickname of somebody. I've been messing around with nobody. Okay, I just came here because I do the magics, and I got a slave. I'm gonna throw into the pit, and we're gonna duke it out.
I see. So this is your present your thrall.
My what?
Your thrall.
My throat?
Can I
Thrall.
we feed Tara some necromancer etiquette?
Sorry, I
so
guess
she, like,
you're
lifts her hair a little bit. Like,
Volgo, rather Volgo, your slave.
oh, yeah, right. Slave, come hither.
I would like to keep insight checking this lady for is she bemused? Is she like on verge of killing Tara? Like I rolled a 30.
Okay. Well, so this is sort of the outside as you're like coming in.
Okay. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not the main woman here. It's
Like, is
okay.
this cute
Well,
for them that a goblin wants to do this?
At
Like,
disadvantage, Jinx. Give me a deception check.
Totally. This is gonna go good, y'all. That's a 9.
yeah.
I do smile though and show my fangs and bend down on one knee to Tara.
And you look like? Do you look like a human?
I look
vampire?
like a human vampire. Yep.
Okay.
I got my hair all done up like I am a slave.
Sort of. Okay, so Dewdrop. You can
Yes.
tell they are in this moment trying to decide if basically they are thinking, are these people what you actually are, infiltrators and
Right, right,
pretenders?
right.
Or they're just like a goblin con artist with a
Gotcha.
con. Like, is this a con from a goblin? And so that's kind of where they're landing in one of these two spots. I said in case you wanted to do anything because you're watching this as they're.
Yep. And do how many people are there talking to us? Just one or multiple people at the gate there?
One is talking to you, but there are all other people here.
Okay. And do we have any kind of psychic bond up at the moment, or
Yeah, it's still up.
hey, they're not buying this.
Can they still pretend to not know these people and like attempt to No, I mean to
Join
attempt
another
to talk,
campaign.
talk to this woman to make her like potentially see it play out.
Yeah, give me a deception check.
27.
Damn.
Okay. You come up, and the way they begin to interact, and you know how to kind of look at least like you belong in the Empire. You naturally grew up here, so kind of they don't really pay much attention to you. You kind of go in without problem. What do you want to do?
She wants. I'm really bad at like formulating words, but I'm going to try to talk to this woman, and basically like, so be joking about like this is interesting how a goblin is trying to like outrank them, and just maybe
yeah.
let them like play it out and see where it goes.
Yeah, I love it.
So say that again.
So basically, she's going to joke and try to seem like she's berating Tara for trying to outrank
Okay.
the hobgoblin, and try to convince this woman to let it play out.
Give me one with give me deception with advantage.
Nice.
28.
Oh my god.
Okay. So what are some of the things you say to Terabal?
Mentally just say to Terrible, try to win this, okay?
Oh, I already won, man.
Okay. Well, listen. I'll give you one chance. You can leave. Posing as a licensed necromancer is against the law.
Oh, really?
You may
Well,
go.
can I show you my amazing magic?
And you claim to be of the true necromancer school?
Yeah.
Fine. And she takes a little bag off of her belt, and it's about maybe like 2 feet, and she pulls over and like just a pile of bones about 6 feet high comes out. Make something.
Oh shit.
Sure. And she holds out one hand, puts her other hand on top of that hand, closes her eyes, and she says, This hand was not mine. This hand, my old hand, was taken from me by a bugbear. And I replaced it with this one. And I imbued upon it the strength of 10 hobgoblins. Behold, the fist of death. And she will take the bone, and she's going to try to smash it with her other one.
Those pile of bones, you just do a big smash on it.
Yeah. I have created dust.
I can't.
Have you ever seen a goblin do that? Like pumps her chest.
Very valid though.
Oh my goodness. At this point, a crowd of about 20 has gathered around, and they're just laughing and begin tossing coins of silver at your feet, mistaking
probably the
you
best
for
result. Yeah.
night show, and kind of looking around. Obviously irritated, you've smashed their bones. They snap, and the intact one comes into their bag.
Now, and I point out the undead, or I'm sorry, not the undead, but the one that they were talking about earlier. How about we show what my next creation can do? Unless you're scared of a little old goblin. I mean, you'll never live that one down, right?
Oh, they're laughing at this point. They go. They get down close to you as they go. So I guess with all this, give me a persuasion check, Terabel.
Can I try to intimidate them?
There is no world in which they are intimidated by this.
Crap. All right. Persuasion, you say. This is going to be bad. Okay. Oh, wait. No, bad. It was almost a net 20, but no, it's a 4.
So close.
Okay. The 4 then. They go. Funny, you've made us all laugh. Looks like you've got about 40 silver for yourself. I am not sure what you came here for. But I am not going to get in trouble over you. So they hand you 20 gold. Take this and leave.
I think we need to do it, y'all. They think we're street performers at this point, and I think that's the best possible outcome. Terabel, I think we need to just kind of bow out.
All right. I will accept this as a bribe to capitulate this contest. Good day. And I bow.
Nice. Oh my God, that was so good. I didn't think we were gonna get out of there. If I'm gonna be perfectly honest, Terabel, that was amazing and terrifying.
Yeah, they just laughed at me though.
Yeah, they didn't. I caught. No, I didn't. Shit, I didn't catch anything they said. I just was going by body language. It didn't look like it went well.
I mean, usually when people laugh at me, I'll just snap their necks, but
Right.
Endanger the mission.
What was it about your performance that they found so laughable, though?
People always laugh, like when they see me and I step into the contest. They're like, "Oh, look at that little halfling!" But then I show them up. Then they're bleeding, and then they never laugh again.
And in this context, the humor was in the premise that a goblin would be stepping into this contest.
I guess so. I never thought I'd empathize with the goblin, but I guess they're sort of like halflings, just in the goblin world.
Tara, that's a shockingly insightful comment.
I know, I surprise myself all the time.
This whole time I've been thinking about, like, how do we find the goblin resistance fighter folk hero, but maybe we just make Tara
Yes. Oh my god.
The resistance fighter. We like have her pretend to be this ascendant necromancer.
And Terabel's the chosen one.
Yes. Wow, the Dune references, they just keep coming.
Shall we just take a peek at the other joint on the way home here, or are you guys?
I am sorry, Jinx. I didn't get your fight going.
Hey, you bought us drinks. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's true. I guess the drinks are on me next.
Yeah, we got 40 silver and 20 gold.
Yep.
Just standing there.
Not a bad payday.
No, really, it's not, right?
You know, maybe let's give up this hero stuff. Let's go out and do it this way.
Yeah, it's got a new gig.
Bars till they pay us to leave. Oh, that sounds fun. So the next
Amazing.
bar.
Let's do it.
Okay. Here, this is stands apart from the rest of the city. Their city is very like dark stone. This is white marble. And there are a series of all around the exterior of it, as well as on the inside walls. There are like little holes about 8 inches around and maybe 6 inches deep. With about with about half of them like filled in with what almost looks like a primitive cement. Above those are goblinoid names. And on the on the outside and the inside, there are the ones that are filled in. Seems to be attached like a stone. It's one usually the darker stone that you see around. Just this tiniest bit of like shelf, like a 3-inch shelf, which rests a shot glass, and they all have different varying levels of alcohol in them, or at least you could tell liquid coming in. It's despite the architecture and the idea that there's some skulls and other bones worked into what you see around yourself, it seems kind of like a quintessential inn.
You want me to buy y'all some drinks?
Yeah, I think that seems like this is the place to do it.
Right. Well, come place your orders. And she'll get them whatever they want.
4 bottles of whiskey.
Jinx, that's a lot. You can really drink that?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We got female whiskey, skull whiskey, and rib whiskey.
Does that come from actual ribs?
And I'm assuming that right now we're speaking goblinoid. Are you all switching to common? Other common, because the general there speak goblin.
Oh, then I don't speak anything because I can't understand them.
I guess with telepathic bond, Azel can just talk whatever the group wants to say, in a sense.
Oh, it translates for them?
Yeah.
Like active translation. Okay. I'll accept that. The Turbo can then say this. But it's heavily accented. I love it. All right. Yep. It's just the flesh off each thing gets things started.
Gross.
How much?
Let's see. The best is the skull. We do that for a gold a shot.
Well, what about the whole bottle?
Well, bottle, 30 gold.
Okay. So I'll give him 30 gold.
handed over. And again, this place, it does, there's a hobgoblin here or there, but it is the majority of the other goblinoid races. More relaxed, more chatting about the work, what they were doing that day. And most of the talk very normal. People doing laundry and doing other common businesses. Though there are like the odd thing of the main material they work with is bone, and there still is that cultural difference, but it's the closest you've probably come to finding something that doesn't feel entirely alien. Which I do.
Should we maybe buy some drinks and see if we can make some friends?
Yeah. Oh, why don't we just pour them some glasses? This is apparently their best whiskey.
How many people are in the bar?
And here about 30.
Is there any undead in this bar?
With your senses, there is. They sit in a corner in this kind of. They are hobgoblin, very pale. They have this like fine white filigree cuffs and a golden collar, and they sit with what looks like a glass of maybe wine. Under which they have like a candle that seems to be getting it warm, and they breathe in and smell it as they sit in the corner.
That person's cool. We should go talk to them.
All right. I'll bring the whiskey.
I can't talk, so someone else is going to have to do the conversation.
So could you make introductions for us?
Yes, she will just try to introduce this group as like newcomers in the city. In a sense.
And now everyone's so the only one that doesn't look outright goblinoid is Jinx, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and Palin's still invisible.
Yeah. Goes. Newcomers? Well, welcome to wonderful city. I hope that you are finding it marvelous. Did you do your research, or you were rather shocked at all of the supposed honorarium to the dead?
Clearly not enough research.
They do keep it under wraps, don't they? Try to keep. Some might come and be quite upset. I still think it must be. It is our contribution here in Holdafai. Oh, sorry, our contribution in Holdafai that keeps the Iron Authority watching us. Should the outside world learn of us, I believe we would be fairly quickly, eh?
Well, people are quick to judgment.
Is this true?
So, what's your occupation here?
You could say one might say I oversee things. I keep things running smoothly. My grease wheels. Tell me, what do you do to keep the bills paid and yourselves from joining the dead?
Joining what? Sorry.
Joining the dead.
Oh, I see. Well, jobs here and there, contracts. Nothing worth mentioning.
Something was mentioned. Kill the monsters? Or more like fixing plumbing?
Well, more killing.
Killing's a fine business, keeps us in fresh supply.
Yeah. I didn't quite catch your name.
Yes, you did not ask, you rude one. What is yours?
Larkin.
Larkin.
To make it more receptive, I do offer to pour him some whiskey.
Accept, and he will kind of move it, and he has this little contraption that puts it above the candle as he smells it and breathes it in. I appreciate it. I don't often find myself in the mood, but with such fresh company and so tight-lipped. But Larkin, for our business, why don't you call me Krayal?
Feel free to chime in because I have no idea what to talk about.
Or you could in character tell her what to ask or talk about, and then she could do it, which might be funny.
Yeah.
Does he happen to know where folks might go to find work doing stuff like we do? I'll say that to Aesol.
Okay.
Connections with the underworld might be helpful here.
Well, there are many places, but you all look fairly, what shall we say, skilled from what I can tell. I like the scars. They're very attractive, especially for such things. I could find room to employ those who are able-bodied. And I should say to you, looks at Jinx, you may order special number 59.
Master, may I order the special number 59?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Like a Palin
5'9".
visibly, like nudges Derek.
Yeah.
Thank you, Master. Special number 59, please.
They kind of look at Lanhair, nods, and they bring over to you a wine glass filled with blood.
Everyone would like hear a slight purr almost from Jinx. She just begins sipping away.
But if it is money you wish, I can get this for you right away. I could find work for you.
That is excellent. It is post AD.
Yes. I have them keep it in stock for me. It's no good to feed on the populace. Keep that in mind, young one.
I will.
Is it safe to be doing that kind of work here? We don't want to run afoul of the local authorities. Is there a way to sort of operate outside of... We don't want to end up in one of those collars, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, you have no worry about those. By legal, only those who don't share the blood of Groom Shorbane have to worry about that.
Oh, that's handy. I didn't know that. We were a little nervous.
Of course. And I assume this one is interesting. Undead are generally welcome here as well. At least, but I wouldn't count on that in the rest of the Empire. But if it is your desire, if certainly working for me, your actions would be covered under my house.
I will say psychically to the crew that it might not be a bad thing to do to get some connections here, as long as the job isn't too.
Yeah, how do we know if he's connected to the rebels?
Well, it's more that I think he's connected to the non-authority to a certain extent.
Oh.
We would be meeting people and kind of figuring out the lay of the land with a little bit of protection, as opposed to right now where I'm worried we're just going to get grabbed at our first sort of. I'm open to ideas. I'm trying to find us a way to operate here.
I like it. It does give us a little more umbrella.
I concur. I assume that the task we are charged with may be somewhat morally dubious. I just want to confirm that we're all comfortable entering into such an agreement.
I guess let's find out what it is before we commit to anything. What what type of work would you have available at the moment?
At the moment, I have 3 things that I could use help with. There's a livestock run that we would be most interested in having help with, having another crew go out hunting in the jungle. Secondly, there is a particular, I guess, former employee who has not reported in from the Great Necro Works. This can get a bit troublesome. Either his creations have eaten him, or he is doing something that is not for the good of Darfai. And I would say, if you so desire, I could also find reason to employ people to act as security for a shipment through the tunnels.
I am curious. We overheard there was a hobgoblin girl that was actually making an expedition up to the Deceiver's lair. Do you know anything about that?
I mean, many do this. You're interested in these foolish things?
It's a legend I've always wanted to check out.
I see. I do not traffic in that place. I do not, as a course of action anyway, send people to their deaths.
Fair. Psychically, I will say he mentioned tunnels. That might be something we would like to know about, wouldn't it?
Yes, that would be another good option.
What's involved in this? The gig in the tunnels you mentioned.
Yes. Quite simply, there is a certain product that an associate of mine in Azodam Hall wishes, and there are interests, both criminal, legal, and monstrous, but sometimes lurk in our tunnelways. You will just be responsible for the safe delivery of such a thing. It's maybe a week's journey.
Well, leaders. Our leader.
I think inside of my head, I'm just thinking, the tunnels would probably be smart because we could learn all the pathways. Maybe they could run under the town, and then we would have other access points to like the military base. If we know more about these tunnels, I mean.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Or we could go kill a wild animal. That's also pretty
Which
cool.
is always awesome. Yeah. I'm open to whatever the group thinks.
Brother, Aesel.
I believe the work in the tunnels could be advantageous. I'm concerned about the implications of the other options, frankly.
Knowing the tunnels between the cities might come in handy later. So
Then I think that's decided.
Sounds
And
like
above
we're on-
table, the livestock one, would we be capturing like people?
Yeah, I was going to give a warning
Ah.
on that one.
Yeah, that
I
went
don't
right
think we
over
want to
Tara's
participate
head.
in slavery.
Yeah.
Tara was thinking,
Like
animals.
we were RP'd, and then as soon as we got to we're making this, like we're actually, I was going to go, okay, guys, just so you know, I don't actually expect you to take this one,
Gotcha.
but I
gotcha.
want to kind of give the type of work he is.
Yeah.
But your
totally.
insight, Dewdrop,
Yeah.
you get this man is testing you. I would say your
Okay.
passive insight. This is he's sizing you up through these jobs.
Gotcha.
It's just very obvious that he's doing this. Give me an actual insight roll, because you had been
Sure.
expressing you're very on guard. I mean, in
Yeah,
general, So
How does a 29 sound?
you are almost certain this person has true sight
Beans. Okay.
and is
And,
very aware of who you are.
We're very handy, is the thing. And we're just kind of looking for someone that, we can do work for and lay low for the most part. This tunnel gig sounds like something that we could help with.
Matt, does True Sight see through a disguise from a disguise kit?
That's a great question. Because that's such a great question.
Yeah. I'd say this actually. Go ahead and give me just a roll with the disguise kit.
All right, so that would be
That would be intelligence.
oh God,
Yeah.
intelligence with proficiency, right?
Yes.
I did help you with that if you want to add, because I am proficient.
I rolled an 8.
Yes.
I'd say I painted you well.
So, yeah, Dewdrop, you think that they probably could see through
So-
this disguise, mostly because of the whole thing of like, oh, faker.
Right.
Let me take a really close look at this one.
Like glue on her ear.
No. So I'm going to a little bit just change tack and sort of be implying that we're just looking to hide out and help, and find some local kind of connection that we could just lay low and fight and that help somebody because we're real useful, but we don't want to be discovered. Essentially, is the
You're still trying to like kind of put on the down low.
yeah, because he can see, he knows what we are. I'm just saying, yeah, that's but we're real valuable. We can help, but we want to just lay low and we don't want to get discovered.
Fine. I would never turn down those who I could pay and have leverage over. That would be bad business.
we're useful.
Definitely.
How can we help with that?
The tunnels. I would say we planned. Not that I have security. We can move as soon as tomorrow, though I could wait 2 to 3 days if it works for you.
Tomorrow's probably best, I think.
Yeah. It's very likely we could be ready for you tomorrow.
I will say, if you are interested in taking care of that other matter down below, and see, necrovaults. I have 5 very useful hats you may enjoy.
Well, tell me about that necrovault gig then.
As that's the thing. Certain people of interest, such as myself, we have a key to it. We give it to those we trust to do work. I'm an accomplished necromancer myself. And there's a associate of mine, Nephil, made his way down, has not made his way up. That usually means I need a cleanup crew. It's quite awful, typically awful things. And plus it requires people who may or may not know how to break into something. Of course, any permanent damages I'd have to take off of your pay.
On the over the course of that mission, are we likely to run into anyone which we would have to keep our condition hidden?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
But it would be much easier for you once you have my hats.
Yeah. Agreed. So again, psychically, it seems like he's offering to help us disguise ourselves going forward if we go to this necro place.
What's wrong with my disguise?
No, yours is really good, but I think magical ones would probably benefit us as well. I think it's a test to a certain extent. I think it's a dirty job that he needs done. And if we do it, it brings us a little closer to the inside.
So we take the tunnels.
Yes, I'm in full support.
Yeah, so it's basically taking both jobs. Taking the necrovaults and the tunnels is what you're
Right.
sort of thinking. Essentially, he's saying if you do necrovaults now, he'll give you hats that
Right.
ultimately hats of disguise.
Right.
That could help you going forward. And then on your tunnel job.
Is that an attunement item? The hat.
To look.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've got to get me more attunement slots. All right.
So, what are your proposed payments for these jobs?
So if you would bring up that, I would say kind of this actually looks at you. I would say because his eyes look at all of you, can recognize some of what you wear. So it would, for this job, it would be simply the hats that I'll have modified for those of you who are overloaded with magic.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
So he'll just do that, but that is because he is going to remove the attunement property from them.
That's amazing.
Very cool.
Very cool.
All right. That sounds
The
like
only thing with them will be, just as I don't want to pull the rug out, but once set, they will be set to a certain disguise.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, but then after that, there's these tunnels. Let's call it. If it is just a monetary thing, I could do 5,000 gold.
Psychically, I'll say, how does that sound to everybody?
I don't think it's about the gold, right? I mean, we just
Right.
need. So yeah, I
Need
think
the connection.
it's fine.
Yeah, and in this is the sort of like you're going to meet several people,
Right.
especially out of the place. You have a place to go. The others would be a little official.
Yep. I think that's just what we need. Rather than kicking our way into bars and trying to fight people, I think this might give us a little. Not that we can't do that eventually.
I am
think-
curious
Go ahead.
what Palin would say to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, you're all free as always to do whatever you want. This is just who is here. What's Palin think?
Brother, you
Yeah,
okay with?
It is a sensible proposal, and clearly they're well positioned to enable us greater access in the city.
Wow.
I do have a personal favor to ask. Like we said, we are very interested in the Deceiver's Lair. You know, treasure hunting, always. And we heard about this person who went on an expedition, and I would really like a conversation with them.
You're telling me they returned?
They might have.
Yes.
Has anyone returned?
They returned. They got replaced into.
Oh.
Didn't
They got
believe-
Wait, was that what we got? Sorry.
they? Yeah, I think we got that. They got reassigned.
Oh, okay, so she returned.
They're reassigned to like a more dangerous role, I think.
You have a name of this person?
Hofi?
I can look into this for you. See if it is a. If they are only people I've heard back from that are. They seem to only be good for feedings.
You mean they're physically unwell or mentally?
Yes. They tend not to do well in society, so they feed the more ravenous creations of the necromancers. No. Usually they, at least as long as they keep their hands. But I can look into this person and maybe arrange a meeting if I can.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that.
Certainly. Yes, if you're able to go to the vaults and you say that tomorrow you'll be setting off, I'll see what information I can find.
Seems more than fair.
Good. Well, just keep in mind, would you, that not all here love what is happening, but we all must survive, right?
Do you
Understood.
love what's happening?
No. I will say for myself, many know this. I was around when our culture was, say, more on the Renaissance. We were walking away from our more barbaric practices. And then all this Bane worship infiltrated. The Empire took us over. And now we are perhaps even worse than Sam himself. I am not one that is overly happy with the way we are. But it has been this way for many hundreds of years. And Zam himself has become immortal. And those who are my children are free, as they can be anyway. And as you can see, I am no slaver.
I'd like to insight check that statement.
Mhm.
24.
Yeah, and the way that he means he doesn't own or buy in people.
Would you be interested, after these jobs are done, in a lucrative business opportunity called not a brothel?
So you show yourselves that you can take a few lickings and keep on kicking, and we will talk, eh?
Sounds good.
All right.
And he will give you a rough map. It goes, now there will be several checkpoints, and part of this assignment is where I guess I count on you all not to be seen.
Of course.
It is no great dishonor should you have to rescue or get someone out of there. I don't want anyone to know that my choice was so poor.
Understood.
We're very discreet.
Dewdrop's desperately trying to keep a straight face while after Terrence says that.
Goes, and if I am not wrong, as he points to Dewdrop, goes, there are there are pools. As he kind of circles these pools of what look like mark as like almost like a hot spring seeming water on the way down to these necrovaults. Gives you a rough map here. Goes, if you spend some time there, you may hear whispers that you may like.
Oh.
Do we know if that's a reference to something, Matt?
Yeah.
That we should.
I mean, you could probably follow up with him.
And he said it specifically to me?
Yeah.
Why would I like these pools?
If I am not wrong, it is a place we honor those who are practitioners of your practice.
Understood. Thank you.
Maybe
Wait.
it's like a grove.
Is he implying that our cover is totally blown, though? Is that we already
He can
established
see.
that?
He can see through. Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
strong
yeah.
impression he had true sight, so he knows
Yeah.
exactly what we are.
Oh,
But in a way, that's a good thing, right? In a way,
No surprises.
right? Well, and if we can trust him, that means we can actually trust him.
Exactly.
He probably doesn't know I'm not a goblin then. 'cause-
Yeah, no, he can't see through yours, but like the magical ones, he can definitely see through. All right.
And he winks at Palin.
God damn it.
All right. We set off in the morning. Thank you.
Certainly. If you already do not have a place to stay, there are rooms here, but they are shall we say, not the most private in the world.
Understood. We do have arrangements.
I pour him another glass.
Oh, takes the one off. Oh, the smell's almost gone off this one. But, he does not drink anything.
However he enjoys it's up to him.
Yep.
All right, then you want to make your leave?
Yeah.
Very good. And where do you plan to head?
Back to our place.
Yep.
Back to the not brothel.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Then we're going to go ahead and take the not brothel break and be back. Then. Alrighty. Let's do this.
Definitely nothing bad's going to happen in the Necro Tunnel or whatever the hell it was called, right?
No, of course not. It's in the name.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
So you find yourself back in your room with Silver Tongue. What would you like to do?
Oh, Sal, we had such a good day. We almost got in a fight.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, coming back here and having this conversation in front of Sal doesn't seem like a great idea either.
Yeah, but we
Sal, go
actually
wait in the hall, would you?
We could
With
put him
Julia
in the
Roberts.
bathroom.
Yeah, let's put it in a closet or something.
That would probably be a little better than just sticking him in the hallway.
Yeah. Sorry about this, buddy. Just shove him in something. Is there a closet we could put him in? Or a...
Yeah, there's closets. Yeah.
I would like to put him in there very comfortably. Maybe a pillow. Gently, yeah, nicely. With a book. I have a book I could give him. But I also would like to close the door and start having a conversation for a minute and then come back and look at his plate and see if it's still picking up the conversation.
So the plate only ever picked up what you specifically talked to Sal about.
Just directly to him.
Yeah, when you used when you were addressing Sal.
Okay, got it. I'm going to reach into I have a sort of, I don't want to call it a fanny pack, but I have a fanny pack. I'm going to reach into it and pull out a kind of a beat up novel that's called My Undead Desire. And I'm going to give that to Sal in the closet. And I'm going to be like, you should read this, buddy. We just need you to sit in here for a minute. And then I'm just going to gently shut the door and kind of feel bad about it.
Okay.
All right. A lot happened today, y'all. Do we have some feelings?
Yes.
Let's hear them.
I don't like being laughed at.
I agree. That was shitty. And I
Yes,
feel bad for goblins now, too. Like, that they're treated like that here.
So do we also kill that guy?
I
Okay.
think he's on the list.
Oh, the one at the fighting pit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like when the goblins overthrow the hobgoblins, we're going to point them in his direction. Any feelings about the plan?
Oh, the plan. Right.
Well, no, I mean, we can talk about feelings in general first if we've got more feelings to get out. I
Well,
didn't mean to rush that.
I can always bring up Mr. Waffles if we have feelings to talk about.
Yep. I haven't actually officially met Mr. Waffles.
There's Aesel.
So if we feel there's feelings to be felt, we could do that.
Okay.
I would like to provide further context for my actions when we first entered the city, which may have eventually, through no direct fault of my own, placed us in jeopardy, particularly Terabel and Desra. And I would like to say that I had the best of intentions, and any hardship that befell you is not my fault.
So that's what we call an apology without accountability. Is that what we're doing here?
I mean, brother, I was gonna say it wasn't your fault, but then you just kind of took it out of my mouth. So, yeah.
But Tara, you were harmed, and for that I am not sorry, because that implies guilt. And, but it was very, very, very unfortunate, and I do wish it had not occurred.
How has the wizard survived for so long?
It's a great question.
He's Jinx's brother.
Yeah.
Mechanically and narratively, I just keep finding people to take care of me.
Well,
More capable party.
tear about with my brother's expression of feelings, so I think it would be a good time to introduce Mr. Waffles, it seems like.
Okay. Then she reaches into her bag and she brings out this kobold puppet and sets him down and just has him, she kind of puts her hand into the puppet and has him look around the room and make little facial expressions, and she'll say, "Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Waffles. I'm here to talk about your feelings."
I'm gonna look over at Aesel because I know Aesel hasn't seen this either, and kind of look back at the group and just I'm looking for what's the reaction of Mr. Waffles.
Mr. Waffles, my brother's having troubles with accountability today.
Oh. Well, accountability is very difficult. Palin, would you like to express your feelings?
I believe, and he's gonna address Mr. Waffles with the utmost sincerity, and he's kneeling to be at eye level, quote unquote. I believe that I have adequately stated my case. I don't know that further explanation would be useful. Perhaps people just need an opportunity to digest the information to better understand it.
Oh, well, if you'd like to bake something, that would easily be digestible. I'm told Terabelle likes cake.
Would be a good thing, brother. You could bake her a cake, and she would and you wouldn't have to say I'm sorry, because the cake would mean it.
I see, yes. Amends through...
In your head, you're gonna hear, "Or you could buy it."
Yeah, yes. Probably for the best.
Azel, Dewdrop, do you guys have any feelings you'd like to get off your chest?
I'll look over at Aesel.
I usually talk to my emotional support dragon, but
Would
this
you
looks
like to bring out
interesting.
your emotional support dragon? Would that be helpful?
Yeah, sure. She summoned Draconic Spirit.
Oh yes.
And here I thought you were talking about my brother has a stuffed animal dragon.
Yeah.
That's a very different emotional support.
Oh, this one's a bit larger, and the room is probably a bit crowded by now because it's size large.
Yes. Now we're getting somewhere.
Dewdrop, do you have any emotional support things?
I'm usually the emotional support, and so this is just nice to have some compadres to work with here, helping everyone.
It must get burdensome, Dewdrop, to constantly be looked to for a solution to others' emotional distress. If that ever becomes overwhelming, I could remove those memories that plague you.
No, brother, we said no.
Yeah, they don't plague me at all, as a matter of
No,
fact.
I'm team members.
But I'm asking permission.
No, and that's consent's important. We're not going to deny that. It's just that I don't need that. I'm happy to be support for people, and it's not a burden.
tell you it's okay once. And you're just like, I'll do it to everybody again. Mr. Waffles, that's what I'm struggling with. I give my brother permission to do one thing, and he just takes advantage of it.
Oh. Even did you have permission to do something?
Well, we had negotiated a limit on modification of my own memory, and then there was a addendum made to our agreement to expand my options, and I thought this was in keeping with the spirit of the addendum, but if not, I misunderstood. Desra, I'm very sorry. No harm intended. Certainly.
Jinx, do you think this was keeping within the spirit of the agreement?
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't really specify exactly how many he could do, but I didn't think he would, like, the group I thought was off limits. We're all friends here. We like the memories we make together, don't we?
Agreed.
Dewdrop, how did Palin trying to alter your mind make you feel?
Well, I feel in this case he didn't actually try; he more offered to, and so I think in this case he was seeking consent, and I think that's a big step for Palin.
Yes.
I'm proud of him.
I think they're just as important as vowels.
I love Mr. Waffles.
We're never filling this party up again.
Oh my god.
All right, well, I'm going to go away now. That's too much for me.
It was nice to meet you, Mr. Waffles.
She'll put him away.
That was amazing.
Well, I think that's good. We got some things off our chest.
Oh wait, didn't we have a plan?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to, we could take a few minutes to talk about our feelings, and that's important. I think as a group, it's very important. And then we can talk about the plan whenever everyone's ready, but there's no rush.
All right.
Does anyone have anything else they want to talk about? All right, the plan it is then.
All right. So what do we need these people to go into the tunnel?
We've got a map.
Do we have to get into disguise before we go?
We're definitely going to have to get into disguise. It sounded like getting there without needing help is part of the test. And it would be bad if we needed help.
All right. Well, I can make disguise, so I think I fooled that guy, so.
I think you did great, yeah. But he definitely saw through the rest of our disguises, the magical ones. He knows exactly what we are, which I think, honestly, is okay, because if he's still willing to work with us, that means there might be some degree of safety working with him to the extent that we can trust him. And I think this might be a good way to maybe operate in town until we figure out how to do what we need to do. And it does seem, if he's being honest, it does seem like he's not a super big fan of what's been happening either.
Yes, I found that most curious. He seemed to hint that there was a kind of cultural origin to perhaps reset or to move back towards, as though the current state of affairs is a deviation from the norm.
which should help us if we're going to try to upset the order a little.
Yes, I mean, it does strike me that if we inflame these tensions and conflict erupts along these societal lines, that it's very likely that the common folk will, many of them will die.
Oh, I hadn't really thought about it that way. But we're giving them an opportunity at freedom.
Yes, I would argue their autonomy and dignity is a worthy sacrifice, and a certain amount of collateral is always unavoidable. I just want us to be prepared for significant losses. If we empower the goblins, they will.
Does give me an idea. If we do empower the goblins, we could turn this Hadar Bell into, like, its resistance camp, and have the other, once the word gets out, the ones that feel like they want to fight back at least and can, might start making their way here, or at least maybe start forming little factions in their own cities once we get closer. So, brother,
Agreed.
that we could. I mean, of course, there will be casualties. There's always casualties in war. But the less that we can cause, the better. So, means us forming that and giving them a place to use as a refuge. Why not be the ones to start it?
We could change this whole area. Or at least make the Iron Authority a lot weaker.
Right.
And Aesel, you spent time here specifically, or just in this region?
In the Empire specifically.
Well, I'm just curious in hearing our, rough plan. If you have any special insights or objections.
Playing on their, trying to pit them against each other definitely sounds like a good plan. And sorry, I don't have much information beyond what we have learned. My condition here wasn't very friendly, in a sense.
Do you have any, personal enemies here?
Oh, I consider any slaver an enemy, personally.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think so. I just meant, was there anybody in particular we should make sure we save so that you can kill the crap out of them?
As long as they're dead, I don't care.
Okay.
Did you have a horde?
I did not.
No?
I was very young when I ended up here.
Is that something you want, though?
What dragon wouldn't want a horde?
So, it was pretty hard. So that money that he offered you kind of, yeah. Okay.
Starting fund, one might say.
So, see, it would be a good idea to actually invest in our new not brothel.
Yeah.
So
Also,
it's that income.
so have you been in this city before, or was it a different city?
It was a different one. I think it was called Esodem Har.
Is this one anything like that one, as far as the way the buildings are and that sort of thing?
Culturally, there's definitely some similarities with slavery and stuff, but, well, there weren't this many dead.
Yeah, and our new friend did seem to imply that people from the outside wouldn't necessarily understand this. Is that correct, Matt? Was that his implication?
Yeah, like not all the people of the Empire know, but also generally they're aware that the city, this city in particular, with what it does, might be wiped off because of people's opinion on necromancy.
Even in the Empire, they might think that.
No, not in the Empire. They're an asset.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
So his thing was sort of, he was expressing that without the Empire, it's hard for the city to envision itself existing.
Gotcha.
Because the Council of Taldore would see them as an enemy.
You raise a few dead, and all of a sudden you're a bad person. I get it.
Well, when, the Raven Information Queen happens to be a very popular worship on this continent.
Yep.
Yes. God knows why. So, we ingratiate ourselves through our new benefactor and look for ways to foment this rebellion. And all the while, we must be aware of the somewhat ominous deadline regarding the Titan reawakening.
And do we have a deadline with Sal that we need to be concerned about?
How long did you tell them, brother, that we'll keep the room?
I think it was like a week. But I can always recast this spell. That's no great hardship.
Yeah, I think we might have to, just to make sure we don't come back to a worse situation.
And it is nice having a private room in the town.
Yes, I do intend to reach out to a higher authority this evening and confirm that Bane's detectives are not still actively searching for us.
That's a great plan.
If there are any other questions that you would have me ask, I'd make my connection available.
I suppose when Mihan wakes up, well, I'm thinking going somewhere where lots of undead might be, we would probably need to be prepared specifically for undead. I don't have a lot that's specifically anti-undead, but I guess Mihan probably does. Does anyone else?
And I'll attempt to attract a suitable replacement for Galadriel.
Yep.
I mean, I always have things for undead.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I don't have that much. I guess
Just
I
kind
can
of flexes a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're ready. I mean, to sleep.
Yeah.
Brother, may I watch while you do this?
While he sleeps?
No. He said he was going to be talking.
Gets weirder and weird.
I mean, any of you are more than welcome to pay witness, and if you have your own questions that I might ask on your behalf. Because above table, all I'm definitely going to ask is whether Bane's detectives are still after us, and then
You could ask if they know where we are.
Yeah.
Because if they're still after us, that would be helpful to know.
So I'll have at least 3 other questions if anyone thinks of anything.
right. Anybody have anything for him?
Nope.
Specifically, you're talking about like another dimension?
Yes, I would be reaching for knowledge beyond this plane.
I don't know how to phrase it, brother, but I mean, if your entity could help verify that whatever magical device that's controlling these undead is in the military base, it would at least help our ideas with knowing if we have to infiltrate.
Yeah, and if they have like is there like a secret weapon under there, like some super powerful nuclear explosive thing?
Not gonna blow up our refuge town, Tara. We're trying to take it over.
No, I mean, we need to be prepared.
Oh, that makes sense. You're right. In case they have the safety button to blow up the town.
Yeah, thankfully my sister's not here. She'd probably press that button.
I want to meet her one day.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I want to see which one of you are taller.
What's that supposed to mean?
warning alarms are blaring. inside.
New Job steps back when he says when she says that. Oh shit.
All right, brother. Let's go watch you do this thing.
All right. Yeah, Palin's going to use a ceremonial dagger and open up his left palm and smear the blood in a very precise runic circle. And he will cast Contact Other Plane.
Okay. Give me the intelligence saving throw.
$25.
Okay. Okay. You hear a snake hissing and many, many whispered voices. And Palin. What do you ask?
Real quick. Is Palin used to being directly addressed by the entities that he contacts?
Nope.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Do I have any sense of who I'm talking to? Please say it's not Zahir.
You don't have a sense when you use Contact Other Plane.
Oh
Unless
my
you
God.
have a specific ritual for a specific.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so he's panicking. He hates this, but he's going to stick to the plan. He's going to ask, are Vane's detectives still actively pursuing us?
They seek you now.
Oh, bad news. That's not great. Okay. Is the magical nexus that controls the bracelets located within that chamber we saw today in the military outpost.
Ask that again for me so I can fully understand.
Yeah. Is the magical nexus, sorry, or I'm just being flavorful, is like the control for the bracelets within that chamber we saw today that was at the military outpost?
It rests in the tomb, of which the entrance is in the outpost.
Okay. Okay.
Do they know how to find us, the Banes?
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
know where we are.
They're receiving this now, but I can ask that, yeah. Do Bane's detectives have the means to find us currently?
The search. Not if you're careful.
Okay.
Jinx,
Go ahead, please.
Is there a way for Hidar, Fi, and the Consular Todori to find peace?
Ooh, hell yeah, Josh. Josh. That's so good.
All right, say that again.
Is there a way for Hidar, Fi, and the Consular Todori to find peace?
Okay, that's interesting.
It is.
I got two more. Selfishly, I do want to ask about what I saw in the cave with the obelisks, if no one
Do
else
it.
has other. Yeah. So Palin is going to conjure the image of the kind of annotation that he recognized on the obelisks in his own writing. And he'll ask, how do I want to phrase this? Have I already failed the prophecy in this timeline?
Ooh. The prophecy. You have written and redone again. You can still salvage it.
And then he'll ask, what did Aesol do to earn a place among the obelisks?
Remind me, a place among the obelisks?
Oh, just like in the obelisk, Palin's name was there.
Oh,
multiple
that,
times.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. They reached back for a family member.
And with that being Palin's final question, he will offer a bow and thank this presence for their wisdom and address them in a variety of honorifics and flattering titles, speaking in a combination of celestial, abyssal, and infernal.
Yeah, as you just disconnect, there's one more, and it's very unusual for them to do this. It's just, if you are failing, seek a remnant.
Ooh. Yep. Okay. Oh. But he's a cleric of a cleric of Iyun seeking a remnant. Oh no. Okay, and I'll say if anyone wanted to have been present through the telepathic link, he would have actively transmitted all that information to everyone, including the question about Aesol.
The whole room turns.
Aesol is sitting next to her emotional support dragon, raising an eyebrow.
I'm just gonna ask, is it like your grandmother, your mother, your aunt,
And
cousin,
it couldn't have been my father?
mother? I mean, I heard the deceiver was kind of, I don't know.
Keep in mind, with Palin, it could be things that haven't happened yet in this timeline.
Oh, true.
A family member? I guess it would have been my mother, but I have no idea why that would transpire.
Dewdrop, does that seem credible?
I happily insight check. I may not share the results, but I'll happily insight check. Oh, someone is so very lucky that I crit failed. Wow, the dice love Aesol.
Yeah, there's no way you can tell.
That's so cool. Dewdrop just shrugs.
Well, we can't fault anyone their secrets or their complexity of motivation. Certainly not me. But yes, it appears that Bane's detectives are actively seeking us. We must take great care to avoid their notice, and that the control, as it were, of these bracelets is at least the entrance located within that crypt.
Palin share everything, even the last part.
Yeah, he would have broadcasted to everybody.
What did he mean by if you fail, find the remnant?
I'm not entirely certain. A remnant could be anything, really.
Do I get the impression that Palin knows exactly what the remnant is?
I'll roll about it. I'll roll about it.
I will
Beat a
insight
26.
check you.
Yeah, beat a
Oh my
26.
god. Oh my god. Guys,
Yeah.
Me
don't
too.
gang up on me. I could get a nat 20. Okay, I didn't.
I'm your sister.
Yeah, Palin knows exactly what a remnant is. Like a capital R remnant. Yeah. he
Right,
knows.
right, okay.
I mean, he might have already done it.
It could be any remnant, except in this case, it's a specific remnant, right?
Well, certainly, the Dreadlord, the one who fell and then rose, may have special insights regarding manipulation of fates and prophecies. But that would be terribly taboo, and it's not something that I would pursue unless circumstances were utterly dire.
You're gonna make me do it again, aren't you?
He's obviously lying. Yeah, he totally.
That time I rolled poorly. It's a 13.
Yeah, I mean,
Seeking knowledge is never a bad thing.
exactly. Yes.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you plan to do with the knowledge, but yeah, I mean, just knowledge on its own can be good.
At least we did find out that there's a way to possibly keep this place around in Tal'Dorei if we do turn into a refuge.
Yep.
Maybe that's what we do to make it stay. Make this a refuge place that even all of Tal'Dorei knows eventually.
I mean, if we could pull it off, it would be an amazing thing.
Yes, we would need a quite skilled diplomat, someone who's silver-tongued.
Like a dragon.
I mean, we've got Sal.
Yeah,
He is specifically silver-tongued.
So you probably hear Terabelle in the closet.
Are you just narrating the whole thing for?
Oh God.
With the telepathic bond possible.
Oh God.
What is Stara saying to Sal in the closet?
You open up the closet door.
I stick my ear to it.
You hear,
It's okay to feel bad about things like this, you know? I'm sorry about your family.
Oh God. It's so sad.
Jix turns back. Sal's met Mr. Waffles. They're having a session. The question, though, who's paying who in that session?
All right, what next, y'all?
It's time to rest.
All right. And you can go ahead and take your long rest. And next step is going to be trying to make your way down to the area.
Yeah, I guess. Unless anyone has anything we need to do.
No, I think that makes sense.
Okay. In that case, for at least one part of it, I will need a group stealth check.
All right.
And if you all want to do any spells, you can for this. You would just be using them after your long rest, obviously.
Yep, I will be casting Pass Without a Trace with my staff. I can keep that up pretty much indefinitely.
Psychic Link is back up. Ritually. Telepathic Bond. And then I'll
Wait.
make myself invisible.
I can reroll that. Oh, that's not much better.
It's just going to be a little higher today. All right, Tara, what'd you get? Dispatch Without Trace up.
With it up, I've got 24.
Aisel?
Not 20 for 38.
Yes.
Phelan?
13.
Good job.
26.
Okay. And Jinx.
30.
Nice. Okay. All right. Make through the major cities, and that is ultimately where we will end for tonight. Just wanted to
Nice.
know how you made it through. So I know about everything to get next time. But you do seem, you feel like you probably evaded Bane's detectives this time.
Nice.
Barely.
Oh, shit.
It's a good thing I was able to reroll ones.
Yeah. Barely just you a lot of you passed the AC, but just barely passed the AC.
Nice.
Or DC rather. All right. In that case, we're Edward tonight and come back with some adventures into the Necrovaults next week. And see you then.